All right, now, today is an exciting day. You know why it's an exciting day? Because we begin our research on new topics. And what we do in this bend, in Bend 2, when we're reading articles and evaluating articles and picking up new bits of information from different places, it's a very valuable skill because now it gives you the tools to go beyond anything that happens in your classrooms from now until the end of time. While you learn things, you are no longer confined to the classroom because you will learn the skills to deal with content outside of the class. It's something you're going to need forever because you will learn things forever. So, in today's mini lesson, we're going to become like a research team together. We'll go through the things that need to happen when you begin researching a new topic. So we'll practice that, and then I will set you off, and you will begin that. You'll be doing the same thing with the topics you just chose. Okay? So, the first thing we're going to look at is our topic. Right, so the topic we're going to research together is GMOs. Okay? Now, when we're first given a topic, do you think it's wise to just jump right in? Just choose an article and read it all. Read it closely. Read the whole thing. What do you think? Just find 5 articles and read all of them. Now I'm an expert. Is that how it works? Stella, can you do me a favor? Can you close that door? I can hear Miss B. Really, can't you? So let's imagine that we're researching a topic, and our topic is GU. Our topic is GU. If I ask his mom, his dad, his grandma, grandpa, do you have any brothers or sisters? No? Those 4 people, I say, tell me everything you know about GU. And they tell me it all, right? Is that going to give me a clear picture of GU, my research topic? Will I know everything there is to know about GU from those 4 sources? No, right? Why not? Well, if you ask my grandma about me, she would tell you that I am the most amazing person to ever step foot on the earth. Right? Now, is that accurate? Maybe there's some exaggeration there, right? So, if I interview those 4 people and get everything I know about GU, I'm going to get lots of great information, but it's not the whole picture. Right? To get a clearer picture, I'm also going to interview GU's friends at school, his friends from kindergarten, his neighbors, the person who lives under him, the security guard in your building, all your friends, your old friends, your friends from 3rd grade, from 2nd grade, your enemies. I'm going to interview them all, right, so I get a real clear and accurate picture about my research topic, right? So we're going to do that same thing with our research topics. So we're going to read a variety of texts. Looks overwhelming, right? These are GMOs, and there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 40. 50 something. Right? Or 40 something. So, what's our first step in getting through this material? Our first step is identifying subtopics. So we can think of subtopics as, I think an easy way to do it is to think of them as chapter titles. Okay, so if my research topic is Geo, that's the title of my book, what's chapter 1? Maybe like birth to 3 years, if I choose to set it up like that. Or family, friends, hobbies. These could be subtopics. So our topic is GMOs. So I'm going to browse through here to try to find some subtopics that emerge. Okay? So what do I see here? I see genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. This watermelon. Genetically modified. Spuds or duds. Genes. Ancient DNA. Issue overview. Are they a bad idea? Okay, so I'm going to look here. I'm going to look at the titles of these articles, and I'm also going to look at maybe an infographic like this. Okay, and what are some subtopics that emerge? So I look here. I see the battle over GMOs. Right, one subtopic might be what? What do you think we need to talk about if we're going to research GMOs? What's one subtopic you could pull from this infographic? So maybe different types of GMOs, because we see there's cereal, apple, soda, corn, pizza. These are the GMOs on your plate. So maybe there are different types. That might be one chapter. Right, one subtopic. What might another be? I look at it and I see the battle over GMOs. So I'm thinking this could be, there are probably a lot of pros and cons. There's a debate. So I'm going to put, what did I write? Disagreement about GMOs. Are they good for us or bad for us? Okay. When I look at my text set, I see the topic genetic engineering. That comes up quite a bit. So, what I want to come up with, like this is the list of subtopics. Right, so this would be my the first thing I'm going to do. So when you go back to your desk to read today, your first goal, right, one of the goals of today, is to identify subtopics. And you do this not by reading every article closely. You do it by looking at all of them, looking for things that are repeated. Okay? So that's our first step. So turn and talk. Tell each other, what's the first step today? Turn and talk. Tell your partner. You guys are awfully quiet. Fred, what's the first step? Subtopics, right? So we get those subtopics, and then we decide that we're going to get into some articles we're going to read. Now, there are 40 or more articles in your text set. How do you figure out what to read first? What do you think? I'll give you a clue. Here's our chart. So we preview the text for repeating subtopics. That's one. Number two, build background knowledge quickly. See this picture here? What's it say? Easy, medium, hard. So what might it benefit of reading an easy article before a hard article? What might the benefit be?
You get a general overview about the topic before you go in.
Sure, right? If you read a very specific or challenging article, that author assumes you already know a lot about the topic. So they may not be explaining all of the difficult vocabulary in a way that is clear, or clear to you. They may expect that you already know it, right? So, one of our jobs today is to identify the articles that we're going to read first, to build our background knowledge. So, for example, here, I got this one, genetically engineered salmon. So I look at that, and I see this. And federal regulators approved genetically. Well, I don't really know what genetically engineered means yet, right? The Food and Drug Administration, the approval of salmon has been opposed by some consumer and environmental groups. So there are groups that fight over this. I don't know much about the topic yet, so this article is not going to be very helpful for me right now. It's going to require too much effort to understand it right now. So I'm going to look for an article that is a good place to start. And one of the clues, if you see a title that says for kids, that's a good place to start. So let's check out this one. Right, this one looks very childish, right? Yuchi. You know what that means? Start there. Right? Because the audience is probably somebody younger than you. That means you will definitely understand everything they're saying. The vocabulary. And this is a great way to build background knowledge. So let's give it a try. Okay, so I'll read aloud here. This engineering is a fancy word for building something. So genetic engineering, or GE, is building something with genes. Clever scientists have learned to spot which gene does what in making a new organism. They found out that simple organisms like bacteria or viruses often have genes that are useful because they can be snipped out and put or spliced into plant genes. These are 2 sentences. Already I've got a lot of information about GMOs. Right? Because I chose the right article to start with. I understand everything they're saying. It's written targeting people who are reading about this for the first time. Doing this could give the plant special new abilities like resisting disease. But this can be rather like grabbing a large scorpion so it can't nip you with its claws. You know it's safe to handle since its claws can't reach you, but it's going to sting. It's got a sting in its tail that you didn't know about. So there may be a sting in the tail which comes from splicing strange genes into organisms. From viruses to plants, for example, no one can be quite certain what will happen. It's unpredictable. So just from this short paragraph that I understand completely, because it's made for people like me who are brand new to the topic, I know that it's unpredictable, so there are some pros to it, but it's unpredictable, so that's definitely a con. What if it turns you into a zombie? Right? We know what splicing means. Right? This is a word that's going to get repeated. We know what genetic engineering means. Okay? Genes can do unexpected and unintended things, and nobody can ever be quite sure what. So it is wise to be careful. Okay, so I'm getting an idea, Daniel, that there's this potential for great things, but there's also this unknown factor that could be dangerous. But I get this all from just a few sentences because I chose the right article. GMOs, which are mostly plants, are mostly transgenic, which means they contain genes pinched from something else like bacteria, viruses, other plants, or even animals. By snipping a gene which does something useful from one organism and splicing it into another, say a crop plant, scientists can get the plant to grow bigger or faster or make more for people to eat. Or the plant could be made to be more nutritious with more protein or minerals or vitamins. Some crop plants can be made to grow in salty water or very little water, good for very dry countries. Others could be engineered to resist disease, which could protect kids against nasty illnesses like polio or measles. So turn and talk. What information comes across in this paragraph? This one. What do we learn? Talk to your group. What do you learn? Kate, scoot in there. Okay, you guys aren't very talkative today. Wednesday afternoon blues? Yes? So, now that we got this basic understanding, right? Now if we look at an article, if we look at something like this, and we start reading these, we start reading these captions here. Most sodas are made with high fructose corn syrup, which is likely to come from genetically modified corn or sugar, which is likely made with genetically modified sugar beets. Now when I read this, because I know what genetically modified means, I can say, so even the soda that I never drink, because it's terrible, even soda has GMOs inside. Right? And I know what that means because I read the right articles first. Right? I could look at the rest and I'm able to understand this now because I know, because I have that background knowledge. And so your goal today is to get that background knowledge. How do we do it? Easy ones first. So you're going to browse through all of them with your group members and say, hey guys, we should start with this one. It's called Physics for Kids, How the Atomic Bomb Works. Okay, that's a good place to start. Then, after we've developed a good understanding of the topic and the vocabulary, you move on to a different article and you get deeper into the subtopics. Okay? You feel like you know what you do today? Know what you have to do? No, it's the beginning today. So we need to think about the subtopics and then choose the appropriate first articles. Right? We want to enter our topic in a way that allows us to understand it and really get the most out of it. Ready to go? Ready, steady,
Ready.
go. Ready, Freddie?